Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, glories to Srila Prabhupada, and welcome to our Saturday morning program of reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the original Bhagavad Gita as it is, unedited, unchanged, which is key to understanding this wonderful philosophy of Krishna consciousness, which was spoken by Krishna to Arjuna 5,000 years ago on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And this battlefield has many similarities to the difficulties that we all face in life, which is the struggle for survival, the struggle for understanding, the struggle to find happiness, the struggle to find purpose, like that. So many different things in our life are confusing, and generally, people in the world are very confused by all kinds of philosophy, ideologies, missions, purposes, the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of money, the pursuit of fame. Like here in America and Canada, the politicians here, and I think it's similar throughout the world for most countries, they're promoting the spirit of nationalism, this nationalistic spirit that we have the best country, we are the top country, we are the smartest people, we have the most ability. This is called nationalism. And there are so many different ideologies that exist in this world. Democracy, communism. I'm a capitalist. I'm a philanthropist. I'm an altruistic person. I open hospitals. I feed people. This is also very popular, especially if you want to raise money. People, if they go and tell the average person, oh, I'm feeding children, that seems to touch the heartstrings, Vijaya Pandit, of the person. Oh, you're feeding kids. Oh, you're so philanthropic. You're so wonderful. But the real mission of our movement is not this, but it is to follow in the footsteps of the bona fide spiritual master. Because the spiritual master can open the doors to the spiritual world through transcendental sound for the disciple. It is through that mercy representative of Krishna that we, as fallen souls, can become enlightened with transcendental knowledge. And this is real welfare work, because actually we're all trapped in this material world, in the human body. And this is a very fortunate birth for all of us, because there's so many different species of life. And we know from our study of philosophy from Srila Prabhupada that it is a great fortune for us to end up in this opportunity position in life. Because you could be born in a lower situation, lower birth. Yes, you could. And many of us have gone through all types of births and deaths because this is the nature of the conditioned soul, subject to karma. And Prabhupada provided us this information, how to rise up out of this state of illusion, confusion, delusion that people are in. And through his mercy, we become aware of what to do and what not to do through his direction. So disciple means discipline. And through the discipline of practicing the process of Krishna consciousness as a disciple, if we practice this process of devotional service by the mercy of the bona fide spiritual master, we can become enlightened. Yes, we can. It's like we pray that I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master who forced open my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So devotee sees through his ears. And Prabhupada presented to us an encyclopedia of information on how to get out of the material world. And it's our responsibility, each and every one of us, all us disciples, junior, senior, whoever you are, that is not really the issue. Actually, it's Nityo Nityananam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Yo Bahuna Vadati Kaman. We are all eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And any kind of perception that we are senior or junior or whatever is a mistake. We're not senior, we're eternal. Satchidananda, eternal servants. Dasa, 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 anudasa. We are servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord. And when we get that, Vijaya Pandit, in our brain, in our consciousness, that we are the servants of Krishna, then we can find happiness in this world of misery. There are threefold miseries that we are afflicted by: Adi Bhautika, Adi Devaka, Adi Atmaka. The miseries caused by other living entities. Oh yes, so much misery. Just see recently, one famous person in America was attacked by someone else, and a bullet of assassination was projected towards him, and he didn't die by some circumstance. By the mercy, in fact, it was acknowledged it was by the mercy of God, although a lot of people think, how can you think that? But it's a fact. So misery is there from natural causes. Like we have a farm project, or not we, but one of my godbrothers started a farm project 35 years ago in the mountains of British Columbia called Saranagati. His name is Balakrishna. Actually, I inherited a Sankirtan bus from him in which we traveled on throughout America for about a year and a half, myself and a group of brahmacharis. It was quite exciting. But he started a community in the mountains of BC, and guess what? There's huge forest fires. They've all been evicted or taken for safety away from this situation where they were living. And it's a very tragic thing, but this is it. Miseries caused by the material nature.
No sound. Doesn't work anymore. Baka? Haribol, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. It looks like Vishwakarma Prabhu is having some technical issues.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think I'll play the opening kirtan and then Yashodanand Prabhu can go ahead with the class probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we should do that. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीर बनचारी जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी भगवान की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तमुनि की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण मोह गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय गुरु द्वारका धाम की जय स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जय और ग्लोरी टू देयर और ग्लोरी टू देयर थैंक यू वेरी मच
Just as I was speaking, we had a power outage here, so very coincidental. And Yashodanandana Prabhu is in his car. I'm not sure how he is able to transmit, but we'll carry on here just briefly, and then we'll have him introduce the class. I wanted to read one quick section from uh, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. In regards to Vyasa Puja, which is a very important part of our yearly program of people writing their homage, their prayers of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that all writers after Vrindavan Das Thakur who are pure devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who have tried to describe the Lord's activities are to be considered like Vyasa. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is the original Vyasadeva in describing Chaitanya Leela, and all others who follow in his footsteps by describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are also to be called Vyasadeva. The bona fide spiritual master is called Vyasa because he is representative of Vyasa. Worshipping the birthday of such a spiritual master is called Vyasa Puja. So we're asking everyone to please submit an offering to Vyasa Srila Prabhupada on his Vyasa Puja, and we're preparing our offerings and sending them in to the Hare Krishna Society or to Yashodanandana Prabhu or myself or Vinkat Bhatta Prabhu, so that we can put these up on the book. Now we'll move forward. We'll skip the reading of the Jaladuta diary this morning, and we'll move forward with the Bhagavad Gita as it is class with Yashodanandana Prabhu in his car in California. Hare Krishna. I think he has a signal. Prabhu, your microphone.
Namo.
Go ahead.
Hold on,
please.
I'm driving. I can't function normal here.
Oh, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, should one of us do the beginning prayers?
We'll see how it works out. Let's just let it unfold here.
We can hear you, Yashodanand Prabhu. You're unmuted.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right, let me start. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Swayam Rupa Stantikan Vandya
Are you able to stop Yashoda? Because you're not, you have no signal. You have no signal, really.
Transmission lines. I'm driving transmission lines in the
Vinkat Bhatta, do you want
Yes,
to
Prabhu.
read?
I think Neil Shama Prabhu wanted to go ahead reading.
You can do it. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just a little caught up with something at the moment. Prabhu, do you want to go ahead? Neil Shama Prabhu?
Okay, I can do it. Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna should I say the translation?
Sure, Prabhu,
I
yes.
my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of, give me one second, unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunath Dasa, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Srivas, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates, Sri Lalita and Vishakha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. O my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Okay, we'll proceed if Yashoda Nandana Prabhu is still on the broadcast. Is Vinkat Bhatta, is he still on the broadcast?
Nope, he's not here.
Okay, go ahead and put up the verses and I'll carry on.
Okay.
What verse is it? 28?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this is the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and the Lord is revealing his universal form to Arjuna. So text 28. Yata nandinam bhavo vega samudram eva bimukta dravanti tata twami naraloka vira visanta vaktrani vivijuvalanti. Yata, as nandinam of the rivers, bhava, many, ambuvega, waves of the waters, samudram, ocean, eva, certainly, abhimukha, towards, dravanti, gliding, tata, similarly, tava, your, ami, all those, naraloka, vira, the kings of human society, vishanti, entering, vaktrani, into the mouths, abhivi, jalanti, blazing. Translation, as the river flows into the sea, so all these great warriors enter into your blazing mouths and perish. Text 29, yata paripantam dwalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samudra vegaha tataiva nishaya vasanti lokas tavapi vaktrani samudra vega. Yata, as, pradipatam, blazing, dwalanam, fire, patanga, mass, vishanti, enters, nashaya, destruction, Samudra, full, Vega, speed, Kata eva. Similarly, Nishaya for destruction, Vishanti entering, Loka, all people, Tava unto you, Api also, Vikranti in the mouths, Samudra Vega with full speed. Translation: I see all people rushing with full speed into your mouths as moths dash into a blazing fire. Text 30. Lehiyasi grasamana samantal lokan samangran vedan vadaner jalabdi tejo bir apurya jagat samagram bas tavagogra patapanti vishno lelihashi licking prasam mana devouring samant tat from all directions, lokan people, samagran completely, vadana by the mouth, dwalabi with blazing, tejobi by effulgence, apuriya covering, jugat the universe, samagram all, basha illuminating, tava your, ugra terrible, pratapanti scorching, vishnu O all-pervading Lord. Translation, O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people in your flaming mouth and covering the universe with your immeasurable rays, scorching the worlds, you are manifest. Akyahi, text 31, Akyahi me ko bhavan ugra rupa manostu te deva bra prasida Vigyanatam ichami bhavantam adyam nahi prajanam tava pravitam. Excuse me there. Akyahi, please explain. May, unto me, ka, who, bhavan, you, ugra, rupa, fierce form. Nama astu, obeisances, te, unto you, Deva Vra the Great One, amongst the demigods, Prasida, be gracious, Vignatam, just to know, Ichami, I wish, Bhavantam, you, Adyam, the original, Na, never, he, certainly, Prajanami, do I know, Tava, your Pravitim mission. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. I do not know what your mission is, and I desire to hear it. And so we'll do text 32. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kaloshmi Lokashaya Kritit Pravido Lokan Samahartam Iha Prabrita Ritipi Tvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Yevastita Pratnak Ikeshu Yodha. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the personality of Godhead said, Kala, time, Achami, I am, Loka, the worlds, Sheyakrit, destroyer, Pravidra, to engage, Lokan, all people, Samahartam, to destroy, Iha, in this world, Pravita, to engage, Rite api, without even, Tvam, you, na, never. Bhavishyanti, will be, Sarve, all, yea, who, Avashtita, situated, Pratyanki, Nikeshu, on the opposite side, Yodha, the soldiers. Translation, the Blessed Lord said, Time I am, the destroyer of the worlds, and I've come to engage all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was nonetheless puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the supreme truth destroys everything, even Brahma. Yasya Brahme cha shatram cha ubhe bhavata odana mrityu yasho pasekchanam hi itta veda yatra sha. Eventually, all the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is an all-devouring giant. And here Lord Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time, except for a few Pandavas. Everyone who is present in that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it would be better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that is his plan. If he stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death cannot be checked. Even if he did not fight, in fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Text 33. Tasmat tam utishtayaso labahashva jitva satram bunkshwa rajayam samudram mayavati nihata purvam eva nimita matram bhava savaschitam. Tasmat. Therefore, Tvam, you, Utishta, get up, Yasa, fame, Labhaswa, again, Jitwa, conquering, Satrun, enemies, Bunkshva, enjoy, Rajam, king, Dam, Samridram, flourishing, Maya, by me, Eva, certainly, At, all these Nihata, already killed, Purvam Eva, by previous elements, Nimita Matram, just become the cause, Bhava, become, Savyasacham, Savashachin. Therefore, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Savyasachin, can be but an instrument in the fight. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Savyasachin refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill his enemies. Just become an instrument. Nimita matram. This word is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Foolish persons do not have sufficient knowledge. They think that nature is moving without a plan. All manifestations are but accidental formations. There are many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that, but there's no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? this cosmic manifestation, is a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have the domineering mentality which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestation are under the superior guidance of God. Yes, the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he should fight at the same time, desire the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, and if his life is devoted to the transcendental service, he is perfect. And we'll do text 34. Dronam cha bishamam cha jayadratam cha karanam tatanayan api yodha viran maya hatams tata jahima vyatistata yudhashva jitasi rani saptanan dronan cha. Also Drona, Bhishman, also Bhishman cha. Bhishma, Jayadratha cha. Also Jayadratha. Haranam, also Karna. Kata, also. Anyan, all others. Api, certainly. Yodha, Viran, great warriors. Maya, by me. Hatan, already killed. Tvam, you. Yahi, become victorious. Ma, never. Vyayastata, he disturbed. Yud Yashva, just fight. Jaitasi, just conquer. Rani, in the fight. Sapnan, enemies. Translation. The Blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desires. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by his mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle of existence. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Paschat Ya Dese Tarine. So a very important part of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is revealing to Arjuna his position as eternal time. And in the second chapter, Arjuna has given so many different reasons why he didn't want to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. For family reasons. He was concerned about the generations to come and what would happen to them if all of these brothers were and friends and colleagues were killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He gave so many different reasons why he didn't want to fight, but Krishna is enlightening Arjuna, and he does that progressively throughout the Bhagavad Gita, enlightens him on the reality of life. For one who is born Krishna said, death is for certain. For one who has died, birth is certain. This is the reality of the material world that the conditioned soul works under, this illusion that they will live on forever. Even though God is there, he is creating everything, and behind every creation, there is a creator. Prabhupada says on a recent lecture I was listening to, the reason that people can't understand that is because they're so teeny. He uses the term teeny, Nilesh, in his discussion. Teeny, a very interesting word. Very small. So because of that minute position that the conditioned soul is in, he imagines that there is no creator, even though everything that is behind the construction of things in this world have a creator. For example, all the big buildings that you see in the cities, especially in Miami, all these buildings, did they come about just by chance or accident? No. They come about by the mastermind plans of a group of engineers and architects. And then they're constructed very meticulously by a group of people that are qualified to build them. So behind everything that exists, there is a creator. Behind every painting, there is a painter. But yet the living entity thinks, oh no, it's just by chance or accident. This is Maya. This is the illusory state of existence that people live in. Behind everything, there is the Supreme Lord, who is the creator of everything. And because of our position in life, we're so teeny, we're so small, we can't see it. And so this is the position of the bona fide spiritual master. And this is the way that one can get out of the material world, is by association with great souls. It is only through his mercy that one can make advancement in spiritual life. And there are so many people claiming to be bona fide spiritual masters. Yes, there are. Just like there are so many people proclamating or saying that they are God, especially in India. Nilesh, you know that. There are so many gods. Oh, yes, they're coming every day. And people are taking that role, pretending, posturing, posing as some great avatars or great saints. But such souls are very rare, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanam ante yanavam mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sumahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. And that's the particular position that we're in here in 2024, that by the grace of Lord Chaitanya and the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we have come in contact with a bona fide spiritual master. And it is through him that we can understand the science of Bhagavad Gita, the science of Srimad Bhagavatam, of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is by his mercy that this knowledge can come. And it is being constantly repeated in the Bhagavad Gita. It is constantly repeated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is constantly repeated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is not something that we concoct. And we can see that nowadays there is so many gurus that are misleading people that they are the bona fide acharya. From Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, from Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And in this way, they're being misled. This is unfortunate. And so the position of the devotee, for example, we talk about Siksha or Diksha Guru, Nilesh. We talk about that quite a bit. What is our position in this world? especially in the devotee world? Well, we are instructing. Yes, we are. But what is our instruction? That Prabhupada is our Siksha Guru. He is the one that's written the books. He is the one that is giving the purports. Now, someone recently was saying to me, oh, the only valuable thing, the real valuable thing, the most valuable thing in Prabhupada's teachings are his books only. No, that's not true. Everything Prabhupada explained to us, everything that the Acharya speaks is Shastra. Everything, not just his books. And you can see that Prabhupada spent a lot of time writing letters to his disciples. I believe there's over 7,000 letters that have been written to his disciples to explain to them what not to do in the event that he would leave this world. Very important. Directions, instructions, and it's so wonderful in these classes with Yashodanandana Prabhu presenting all this different history of Prabhupada's mastermind plan to guide us into the future without any deviation. Yes. So Prabhupada left. So all of this is also Vyasa speaking. And these instructions from Srila Prabhupada give us insight on how to practice Krishna consciousness practically moving forward into the future. And this is the position of Acharya, the via media representative of the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada has appeared to us now in his Vani incarnation, in sound vibration. And it's up to us as a group to recognize his position. Without question, a lot of people haven't. We've talked about this, Nilesh, how Prabhupada has been moved to the back of the room, and not to the front, to the head of the class, but to the back of the class, and been minimized, unfortunately, by some people. This goes on. And this is common, actually, in most groups. And especially in the current situation that we're in, moved back, diminished back to the back of the room. But we can see, without the blessings of the spiritual master, the pure devotee, we're lost in the world of confusion. We all are. And that's why I was speaking to Yashodanandana Prabhu about this yesterday. That's why it's up to the individual devotees, specifically the devotees in this group, to diligently chant their rounds. Yes, this is part of the recipe of success for devotional service. And a lot of times we're seeing, because of confusion, the confusion that we hear and see online. And remember this, social media is not really that important. It is a forum. We're using it as a discussion platform. Yes, we are. But what happens, like today, look what happened. Yashoda couldn't get a sound transmission. My power went off. All kinds of situations. At any time, this could all stop, because that's the nature of the material world. There could be a nuclear war. There could be all kinds of catastrophes that befall us. But what do we do despite all of that? We have to chant our rounds. I was looking at a picture of a group of devotees who are currently going through a disaster. Yes, a disaster. And I sent a picture to Yashodanandana and a few of my godbrothers, and I said to them, what do you see here in this picture? There's these people that are all look like senior people, older people, and you could notice one thing. Nobody had a bead bag. Not one person in the picture. There was about 16 people in the picture, and they're all suffering a calamity. Their houses are, and their environment are being burned by a forest fire, and they have no bead bag. Huh. That doesn't seem to be the right direction if you're in trouble, if you're in difficulty. The first thing to do is grab your bead bag and have it. Diligently chant the holy names every day. Work on that, practice that, because that is the system, along with hearing the philosophy from Srila Prabhupada through his books. This Vani incarnation is not just something we mention, it is something we practice. So like reading constantly, hearing these principles of Krishna consciousness, hearing about the glories of Krishna, hearing about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, hearing about the pastimes of our spiritual master, this will inspire us to carry on through a very difficult journey in this short period of time that we're in. Because time, as Krishna was explaining today, is present, affecting all of us. And what's the best use of time, Nilesh? The best use of time is your practice of devotional service, your personal practice. And through that, you get realization. And then you can understand what is the message of Bhagavad Gita, that everyone should surrender to Krishna and take up his devotional service with sincerity. Prabhupada said this. He was asked this question, how long does it take to become Krishna conscious? And he responded back, Nilesh, this way. He said, you do not read Bhagavad Gita? You do not read? You do not study? You do not understand? In 1 second, one can become Krishna conscious. Or it may take millions of births. It's just a matter of accepting and understanding the fact that we are all Krishna's servants under the discipline of a bona fide spiritual master, like A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In this way, you will make great progress in spiritual life through your personal application to this process. This is the point, is everyone personally has to practice this process as best they can. Yes, because it is difficult. There's so many problems in life, so many responsibilities that we all are subjected to, so many things that try to drag us away from our proper use of time. And then also we have the false ego, which thinks, oh, I know. Like, for example, a lot of people, especially those in the spiritual circles, which are very small, by the way. There are not very many. On this planet, there are very few devotees. They are caught up in a narcissistic, problematic environment. They're thinking, I know, I am going to do this, I have this money, I'm going to spend it this way, I'm going to move forward that way. They do not cooperate. That is also a problem. And Prabhupada knew that without cooperation, it would be very difficult for us as a group to remain Krishna consciousness. Cooperation means association. It means dedication. It means cooperation means to work together as a team in applying ourselves to the Krishna conscious mission of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. But if we don't cooperate, we're going to be independent. And that independent nature that we all possess, yes, we all have a right to be independent. There's no question of that. That's called free choice. Everybody's choosing day after day what they'll do and what they won't do. But are they prepared to work together? Probably not. And that's the case that we're seeing. And a lot of people, Nilesh, in the ISKCON movement, the former ISKCON movement or whatever movement it is, they've been so hurt by their experiences that they've just given up. Oh, there is nothing. There's no hope. I'll just be on my own. And they get quite comfortable in that environment. And they march on. Well, I'm chanting. I'm going to go to the temple. I'm going to go see the deities, blah, blah, blah. This mission is based on understanding that Prabhupada is the bona fide Acharya and everyone has to follow him. That is the mission. That is the mission of the devotees that are assembled here, so that they can enter into this understanding of the mission, the purpose of human life, which is explained every day to us in Prabhupada's purports, his letters, and through our personal practice, it will become a revelation. So it's a great journey. And we're very proud to be together in this group. Fortunately, it's come together somehow or other by circumstance, by Krishna's mercy, by Prabhupada's grace. The group is here. And now we have to carry on with this mission as a group in the best way possible, with using our intelligence and praying to the Lord for help to guide us in protecting Prabhupada's legacy moving into the future. And then the revelation of Krishna consciousness will become apparent to all of us. So thank you very much. What we'll do is we'll move forward with our panel of devotees and ask them to make their comments. And in this way, we can share this understanding of Krishna consciousness in this group. Dharma Bhavana in Dallas, Texas, please.
Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you. Yeah, I would just, there's one word or phrase in the purport we call domineering mentality, that if someone has it, they will want to lord over matter.
Yes.
And just on that, I was remembering back as a bhakta, I've been in the temple 3 months, 6 months, and I started thinking, wow, I am really advanced. I'm like a really important devotee, so advanced. And then actually after that, Krishna taught me in different ways, different lessons, that I'm not very advanced, and we're not supposed to think like that. And sometimes we meet, if someone has the tendency to oh, I have so much education, I have a college degree, a master's degree, so that makes me very advanced. But what happens is when we have that kind of an attitude that by material improvement or wealth or material education, it causes us to become very confused about what advancement really is. And just like in the Bhagavad Gita, this is called the great science of yoga. And the best attitude for any devotee, especially younger devotees, is to think, well, I really don't know anything. I may need to, clear away misunderstandings. But if I have this attitude, I don't really know anything, I'm just ready to be taught by Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, then that is the kind of best attitude, so that we're not so proud of our material education or material wealth. Then we're in a much better situation. And just reflecting over the last 20, 30, 40 years, all these things have happened. The deity worship, book changes. It seems to come from the fact that someone is thinking, I know better than so-and-so. I know so much. I can do this. I'm very intelligent. So I just wanted to kind of reflect on that as a point of discussion. All right. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, it's the journey in time. Like, time is a factor that affects everyone's life. And funny, when you look at yourself in the mirror, a lot of us older men and women, we see how time is impacting our physical presence. And we certainly don't look like we did when we were 18, 19, 20, like that. It's so different. But we think, oh, I don't look too bad. The most amazing thing in life is that you see your friends, your family members, members of your community have died. For example, recently at this ashram here in Hamilton, we've had 7 people die in the last 3 years of different causes. Oftentimes when I'm on my japa walk, I think, oh, there's a house near here One of my friends was a very successful businessman. He was a former athlete who played for the local professional football team. And I walked by the building. It's called the Banyan House, interestingly enough. And it reminds me that he died 5 years ago. I'm thinking, wow, that's just such a short life he spent. And he's already gone. We had a fellow upstairs here that used to live, Bhakta Tom, and he died last year on the street. He had a heart attack and just collapsed. We had a fellow coming here, Bhakta Richard. I get a phone call last year, oh, Rick died. Oh, wow. And we had a fellow in the living room, we were helping him with his cancer treatments. He was staying here in Hamilton with us. And because we have a big medical hospital here and for cancer treatments. And he went to this hospital, he had all the treatments, and all of a sudden he had to be transferred to Toronto, and within 3 weeks he was dead. We had another lady was coming through, Bhakta Trevor, who comes, she brought him here. Zan was her name, kind of a nice person. We chanted, she got prashad. Oh, all of a sudden she just died. So I think in all of our circles, we can see that a most amazing thing. Your mother has died, your father has died, your sister has died, your brother has died, your friends and colleagues are dying or have died, and you think, I won't die. So this message of Bhagavad Gita is that everyone must die. And unless one takes up the process of Krishna consciousness by the direction of the pure devotee, as given in the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is the key. This is a key for people to study. Unless they do that, they will miss the purpose of life. Yes, they will. And it is serious. If you do miss it, you may not get it again for millions of births. We can automatically say, oh yes, I'm going to live on. I don't know. I'm going to be born in a situation. You're taking a risk all the time. So this is a razor's edge process. You have to be very, very serious about following it. Otherwise, there could be a mishap on the road, on the journey back home, back to Godhead. And we do not want to be one of those victims. Hey, Bhakta Chris? We don't want to be a victim in this journey of time back home, back to Godhead. Nilesh Sharma in Miami, Florida, or maybe Fort Lauderdale, my friend. It's nice to see you in good lighting and a good microphone. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Please.
Krishna. Jai
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol.
Very interesting shlokas which you read. And it comes to my mind
Yes.
that we talk about creation and then we talk about dissolution.
Mhm.
Here, Krishna is saying that he's in charge of the dissolution also. He
Yes.
is telling Arjuna that everybody is going to be dead except you four. Of course, in reality, there were 11 major warriors who survived Kurukshetra. The 5 Pandavas, Krishna himself, Satyaki, Ashwatthama, Kripacharya, Yutsu, and Kritavarma. These were the people who survived the battle of Mahabharata. But here we talk about is that in school, we are always taught about Darwinism and the survival of the fittest theory, where how life has evolved down. But there is a parallel scientific theory, which they label it as pseudoscientific, which is called intelligent design, where they say that this is just creationism in disguise, which they are saying. But they can assume that there were gases before, and from these gases, suddenly there was combustion, and then there was unicellular organisms which evolved, and from there, multicellular organisms, etc., etc. That they can assume. But as supporters of intelligent design, we cannot say that God created everything. So here Krishna talks about not only God, dissolution, he's the creator also, but he's the dissolver also. And he calls himself what? Time. Kala Asmi.
Hmm.
Kala Asmi. He says, I am the time, where time deteriorates everything, every aspect of it. Today I may claim that I'm very young and I'm very beautiful, but tomorrow I will wither away. What is that? That is time, the effect of time, which is what Krishna is taking. So that is why Krishna says also in the Bhagavad Gita that Mrityu Sarvasva Harascha. I will come as death and I'll grab away everything. I'll take away everything. So that was an interesting point. The second part which came about was if Venkat Prabhu, you can take us to the purport of chapter 11, verse 34, which Vishwakarma Prabhu read. Chapter 11, verse 34, the purport. I think we need to pay a little close attention to that particular purport. If he can't do it, I can do it. Do you? Okay, go ahead. Yes. Yes, perfect. Just the purport, Prabhu. So if you look at the purport, let's read it very carefully. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. Now, how do we know what is his plan and what is his desire? Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we are conditioned souls. We don't know anything. How do we do this? Through the medium of a spiritual master. Prabhupada says this very clearly. You can understand the intent or the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead only through the spiritual master. Now look at this one sentence. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by his mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. The plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. So that means we need to stick to the words of Srila Prabhupada, the diction of Srila Prabhupada, the original words. Why? Because these are words or plans as good as uppercase H, that is Krishna's plans. And if we were to make any changes in these words or in this intent, what are we doing to his plans? We are changing Krishna's plans. That's why Prabhupada is giving us this warning. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. Look at that. This existence is a struggle. Arjuna has come to know that there will be very few survivors in this battle of Kurukshetra. Who was with him in this battle? His son, Parikshit Maharaj's father. What's his name? I forget his name. Anybody can help me? Who is the son of Arjuna?
Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu. Very good. Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu is killed. And you saw that he is aware of this. Then at the end, Ashwatthama kills the 5 children of Draupadi while they are sleeping. Now imagine all these things, the tribulations Pandavas have gone through. And when the Pandavas have gone through these tribulations, they have never left the association of Krishna. They have never left the association of Krishna. How many of us are strong enough or claim to be strong enough that we can go through these problems of life, the struggles of existence, which includes losing your own children? Imagine that. Not one child. Arjuna lost so many children. You see, Draupadi loses so many children. But despite that, when Ashwatthama is caught, and when Krishna tells Arjuna to kill him, what does Draupadi say? Compassionate nature. Let him go. Let him go. Why? Because I don't want her mother, your Guru Patni, our Guru Patni, to go through the same lamentation as I am going through of losing a child. You see? So, of course, that other story is very different. But why should we stick? Because his plans, Krishna's plans, can be known only through the transparent via medium of the bona fide spiritual master. So if we change anything, we're changing his plans, and obviously we won't know his plans. And then how can we be Krishna conscious? And it is interesting about what Vishwakarma Prabhu said, one last thing about death. You see, it reminds me of a story when one lady comes to Lord Buddha and says, "Oh, I've lost my husband. Can you please revive him?" So he says, "Yes, I can do that. But you have to do one thing." Says, "What?" Says, "Can you get me a handful of rice from a house where there has been no death?" So she goes around, says, "Can I get some rice?" And yes. "Do you have any death in your family?" "Yes, I lost my son, I lost my father, I lost my father-in-law, I lost my uncle, I lost my grandfather." There was no house where there was no death. So that's when she realizes that this is not something which is different. That is why Prabhupada calls it struggle for existence. So that is why we need to stick to these words so that we know what is Krishna's plans and then surrender to his plans and become more Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna.
Glories to Prabhupada. Thank you very much. I wanted to go to the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 30. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 30, just to further give us insight into this understanding that everyone must die, that Krishna is the destroyer of all three worlds. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creature. So the same theme being expressed in the 11th chapter, here Krishna in the 2nd chapter, and I highly recommend that everyone study the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It sets the stage perfectly for the entire discussion that takes place through the 18 chapters on the purpose of life, which is what the Bhagavad Gita reveals to everyone. What is the real purpose or mission of our birth? I'll read the purport. Sorry about that. Purport. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul in describing the immortal soul in various ways. Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty, his responsibility, out of fear that his grandfather and teacher Bhishma and Drona will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. Yes, not that there is no such thing as a soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. There, through the soul, though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged, but at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanctions of the Lord and not capriciously. So, the responsibility of the living entity is to take up the devotional service of the Lord without hesitation. All of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So everyone is born to die. For one who is born, death is for certain, and for one who has died, birth is certain. And the only way, Bhakta Chris, to get out of this cycle of birth and death is through the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession coming from Lord Krishna himself. Bhakta Chris, is your microphone on? Are you able to speak? No? Okay. Let's call upon...
Yeah, okay.
Are you able to speak? Did you want to have your mic on open?
Yoss, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello. Right. Okay, I've been following well, following some of the lot of what you've been saying in other podcasts and things. So I'm just away with my wife to well, we're dog sitting or something. So that's the only way I could get onto you here to to listen to what you're doing this afternoon. So that's why I came in and joined. So yes, yes, you basically talking about well, that verse you just mentioned, 2:30. It's like the conclusion, isn't it, of about 20 verses from about 2:11 to 2:30 on the very basic,
Yeah.
with the basic instructions of Krishna to Arjuna about the nature of the spirit souls. So, and then from what I remember, what I've looked at, I think the next verse is up to about 40. I like looking at it from the Kshatriya spirit. So the main thing I get out of a lot of that is there's so many different ways and levels of looking at things. This is really, really important part of this, spiritual life and get up and go. And when you were saying earlier about people in the movement not cooperating or cooperating, I've always thought, well, putting aside infiltration and all that, but because most people who might be doing things not so good are people who are influenced rather than perpetrators, and it's due to looking at things in the same due to, you might not agree with what somebody else says, but you can look at them, you can look at the other person's viewpoint, and then when you see how they're getting to something, then one's not going to feel too sore about the other person. So I think that's to me, my way of thinking, that's a step towards cooperation in general. So that's just my 2 cents worth at the moment. So, but
Thank
I'm
you.
very impressed with, I'm impressed with what you and Nandana are doing on here. So what can I say? That's why I come onto it a bit.
Thank you
Sometimes
very
you'll make comments.
well. The fact of the matter is, we're not doing much, but we're doing something. And the idea is that if we all work together cooperatively, we can do a lot more, because that's the secret of success in this world is teamwork. And it is hard to overcome lethargy. It is hard to overcome despondency. A lot of people are despondent. In other words, Nilesh, you see that because you're traveling around with the devotees in that area. A lot of them feel they've been abandoned by the ISKCON movement. For example, if you're a dissenter, we've talked about this. Now, dissension in some circles is dealt with in a very harsh manner. In other words, you don't agree with what we're saying, guess what? We're going to kick you out. There is no dialogue, there is no discussion, there is no harmony amongst these people. There's just enemy. You're an enemy because you don't agree. For example, in Alachua, in that center there, if you go and try to read from the original Bhagavad Gita as it is, like we have here, they don't allow it. I know one devotee, and you probably know that, Bhakta Chris. Is this Krishna Bhakta, by the way? Are you Krishna Bhakta?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, he lives next door to the temple there, and in Alachua, and he told me that when a person went to the temple and they tried to read from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, this one, they stopped them. Oh, you can't do that. You have to read from the Yellow Gita. So this dissension sometimes provokes people to eliminate you out of the situation, to get rid of you, to banish you. And this is unfortunate. And a lot of people are despondent. Okay, we understand that. But here, this program, our group, all of us, we all have the common purpose of putting Prabhupada at the front of all of our teachings. Just like in Christianity, if you can go to many churches, of course, there's so many, if I can use the term, sahajiyas in the Christian groups. I talked about a guy named Prophet Tom that one of our members here goes to see. It's not prophet, P-R-O-P-H-E-T. It's P-R-O-F-I-T, prophet from other people. So this type of mentality, this type of dealing with people is not proper. We have to have an open platform of discussion, and we have to have an open platform of logic and reason to help us understand how to work together and follow the orders of spiritual master accordingly. And we wanted to encourage everyone, of course, to send in your offerings to our Vyas Puja book that we're presenting. And it can be sent to Venkat Bhatta. Would the offering be sent to the Hare Krishna Society website? Would you say that's the best way to send the offering from our membership? Are you there?
Yeah.
He's not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can, sir.
I've yet to put up the form on the website.
Okay.
I'll be putting up a form, or they can send it to me at venkat@prabhupada.ca.
Venkat@prabhupada.ca.
Yes.
So you can write your offering and send it over to him, and he is putting together the book for our spiritual master. And this unification through writing and glorifying him would be a great contribution by each one of us to this mission of protecting Prabhupada's legacy. So that is important. And we really encourage you to write, because writing will help you with your realization. When you have to think and meditate and write this down, it becomes there. We have the email link for you to copy down and send off. So that is a key thing right now that we're involved in. And I wanted to, first of all, thank everyone who donated for the GoFundMe program for the printing of the original Srimad Bhagavatams. These original Delhi versions are very valuable for people's book collection, and we want to extend our appreciation for everyone. And we're working on getting that done. And as soon as it's complete, we'll be sending out to everyone that donated. And the donation drive is still open, the GoFundMe drive. So if you want to give some Lakshmi for that mission and other missions that we're planning to bring to the world, then please go ahead and do that. We're going to move forward now, unless there's any last comment. We're going to move forward. It's moving towards the end of the program, 11:30. And we'll have the chanting of Hare Krishna, led by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, from his early years in the 60s, playing the bongo. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha, Patitanam Paveni Bhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnava Vangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya